the monsters that live close to you. Hello, Leo Augusto React. I'm Nicole12, and my story happened recently. I went to my friend's house to watch a horror movie. Before we started watching, there were some boys outside who were trying to scare us because they knew we were going to watch a horror movie, right? So, they were messing with the house's power switch. My friend's brother kept messing with the switch all the time. We didn't pay attention to that, and they got tired of trying to scare us. As soon as they left, we started hearing noises inside the house. My friend said, "Guys, how is this happening? The noises are coming from inside if the boys went to play somewhere else." We had locked the door. There was no way anyone could get in. Everyone got scared, but then the noises stopped and the lights started flickering frantically. Exactly 6 seconds later, I started to feel sick. I felt something really bad inside me. The girls thought I was joking, but I wasn't messing around. Out of nowhere, the music box that was on the shelf started playing. Ping, 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 ping. Ping. Even so, we kept watching the movie until the end. We had a snack, and while we were watching the other one, I saw a woman in white at the kitchen door, looking at me. She went to the little box and played Pim 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 Pim. I ran out in despair out of the house and left. The next day, they asked why I left like that and said they hadn't seen anything. That the little box just fell on the floor without anyone touching it. I never went back to that friend's house again. Hello, I'm Samantha, and something bizarre happened at home, perfect for your channel, Leo Augusto React. Hope you enjoy it. One night, my mom was finishing up cleaning the kitchen and asked me to take the trash outside, right? The garbage collection was coming the next morning, so I went to throw it out. It was all dark and it seemed like the street light was out, but I went anyway. So I threw it in the dumpster, went back home, and when I was about to sleep, I heard a noise coming from outside. And when I look out my bedroom window, I see the trash can knocked over on the ground and something rummaging through it. It's probably a hungry stray dog, looking for something to fill its empty stomach, right? So I went there carrying a piece of leftover chicken from dinner, but when I got there to give it to the animal, it was already gone. The next day, my mom asked me if I had thrown out the trash properly because it was all scattered on the street. And I explained, that it was a dog that showed up and did that? So, a few days later, I went back to taking out the trash. It seemed like the streetlight was working again. I took out the trash and suddenly heard a noise from the manhole. I got closer to check what it could be, right? And I saw a pair of eyes in there. I got scared and ran back inside the house. I told my parents there was something in the sewer. They said it's like a rat, a cockroach, all kinds of nasty creatures stay inside the sewer, right? And that I shouldn't worry, but I was sure that thing wasn't something normal. Man, its eyes were really big and scary. So when I was almost asleep that night, I heard a noise outside. I went to the window, right? And I looked. The power was out again, but I could see the creature's silhouette better. It looked like a humanoid rat. He was rummaging through the trash again, but this time he didn't find anything to eat. He was really angry and throwing everything around, and then he went back to the sewer. Minutes later, I was still shocked by what I saw. Then, a dog showed up walking down the street and came closer to sniff the mess that was there, right? That's when he was pulled into the sewer and disappeared. Poor unlucky dog that just happened to pass by right when the creature was there, man. I couldn't sleep anymore after that. The next morning, the power company said they were having a pest problem because, according to them, rodents were constantly cutting the wiring. My theory is that this creature cuts the power so it can act without being seen, moving in the darkness to hunt anything. Since then, there's been a big increase. Reports like this in my city. Whenever my mom tells me to take out the trash, I always think that this creature is going to show up and attack me. A month ago, my sister brought home a new doll. According to her, she got it from Aunt Gertrude's. I don't know what she did to get it, because she doesn't really behave very well at school. But alright. Until, in the middle of the night, I woke up with something hitting my head. When I looked, it was the doll. My sister must have thrown it at me while I was sleeping to mess with me. Then, the next night, the same thing happened, but this time, the doll was holding the... That's just too much messing around, right, man? At dawn, I told my mom my sister threw the doll at me while I was sleeping, but she didn't try to fix this issue. So I stayed alert so I wouldn't fall asleep. I set up a trap, put a bunch of clothes on the bed, pretending I was sleeping there. You know, I hid in the wardrobe and kept watching through its little crack from there. I was going to catch my sister red-handed as she threw it at me. She entered the room with the doll in her lap and lay down to sleep. I kept waiting, but nothing happened. I ended up dozing off inside the closet, man. I don't know how long I was out. Suddenly I woke up to a noise. And when I looked, Leo Augusto React, the doll was walking by itself on the shelf above the bed. Now, holding a knife, it leaped and stabbed the sheets. Man, where would my head be if I were there? I wouldn't have made it out of that. As the doll tried to pull the knife from the sheets, I wrapped it in the fabric and locked it in a box. That doll was cursed. I swear I heard it say, "Let me go, you wretch." My mission needs to be accomplished, but first I need to get rid of the witnesses. I left the box with a bunch of weights on top, so it wouldn't escape, right, man? And the next day, I threw everything in the dumpster in the other neighborhood. The next day, my sister was desperate, looking for her doll. She searched the whole house and couldn't find it. She asked me if I had seen it or done anything, and I said no, you know? I just pretended I didn't know anything. I asked her who Aunt Gertrude's was, the one who gave her the doll, and she said it was a teacher from school. The following week, at a parent-teacher meeting, my mom asked who this teacher Gertrude's was, the one who gave a toy to her daughter, and the principal was surprised. She said that this teacher had been removed from the school 5 years ago because she got involved in some problems, and I didn't know how to answer her. After I found that out, I was sure that doll had evil intentions, that it came to our family to destroy us, and that I would be the first. Bro, I released episode 2 of Cartoon Cat vs. Siren Head. That fight is still going on, my friends. And we have many other titles there at Leo's store on ZAP. Add this number, bro, and I'll send you the available list of all of Leo's comics. Alright, Merry Christmas to you all, and a prosperous New Year. We're in this together.